Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to episode 111 of my Let's Play of the game known as Torment Tides of Never says right. Numenera. However you say the end of the name of the game. The name of the game. I'm IVATOPIA, by the way. Okay, we just found an auction for slaves inside the bloom. Well, it's part of the living thing that's eating us. And she wants me to free him. I'm going to try, but she suggests me buy him, but I barely have any money. It cost me, for us, about $260 to sleep in a tent. Yeah, so I don't think that's going to cut it, especially how many there is. Unless they're all peasants here, literally got a couple of P only on them, you know, 5 or 6. Maybe you better explain how slavery works around here. I'd like to buy a slave. What are you exactly, an auctioneer? Flint's eyes light up. If his smile got any wider, it would tear itself off his face and go scampering away. Hopefully this is the price. You're so a registered merchant, are you? Got all the proper documents, signed the stamp there. All the right places? Sorry, I must have left them in my mansion. Don't need official documents to make a deal. But I'm sure you've heard my name. I have plenty of friends inside the cliffs. Shakes his head firmly. Despite my worldly demeanour, I know little of what goes on outside the bloom. You seem a respectable sort, I will admit it. But official business requires a proper documentation. Suddenly Flint glances around in such a strident conquers of stealth that you aren't sure whatever he is serious. On the other hand, he whispers, perhaps we can make a deal beneath the preview of the relevant authorities as it will. Go on. One of my slaves is not attracting many buyers. He's a young fella, fresh from the streets of Cyprus, but I fear he's only a thief, not a murderer or a sadist at all. You can imagine how that's gone over with my clients. Since I cannot sell him to a legit manner, I'm forced to go under the provable table. You may have him for a minute. 400 fudge. That's literally all my money other than that 200. No returns, no refunds, or resident. Flint flashes disturbingly wide and toothy grim. Slave isn't a hard criminal. Nobody is going to give you a better offer. Do you know how he ended up here? 65. Nope. This is my best chance. Oh! Eventually someone might. There are moles that only want blood. You know that they don't care. Fine. Very good indeed, Flint. Grabs your hand with both of his, shakes it vigorously, and gathers up your shins, shoving them into various pockets and purses. Then he shakes your hand again, both of them this time, and the deal is struck. Next to you, Rin is bouncing on the balls of her feet, doing a poor job of containing her smile. Your property shall be extracted from a pit motelli. I believe his name is Courtney. Private property. Hope we can free him now. The young man takes a deep breath as through preparing himself for something. He looks directly into your eyes. His expression is not merely sober, it's registered and emotionless, almost dead. So what now? How do you become a slave? I'll ask him now, I'll free him. He shrugs, caught stealing. Didn't that toothy merchant tell you? Is people really kept up a fence on Cyprus cliffs? Don't know. I volunteered to earn my freedom. If I had to feed you to Mar, you could die. How do you become a slave again? A flicker of fear shudders across his face, but only briefly. His eyes hard once again. Then I die. Looks up at you without a word, his eyes as dead as before. What are you good at? You grim is stealing, all I've ever known, really. He thinks for a moment and adds, I guess I'm good with my hands. What task can I give him? So I want to free him, but I want to see what it says. What? I thought you were going to free him. Give me a second. It's not why I paid all that money for him. Now, Cora, to your task. Just a little errand, and I'll free him afterwards. Just a little errand, and I'll free him afterwards. Just a little errand and I'll free him afterwards. Crosses her arms troubly. Fine, but you better free him. I am. He waits especially. I just want to know what the tasks were, really. You notice his hands trembling slightly. I want you to make me some extra shins. Pick some pockets. Well, yeah, especially with... I just paid 400. Steal something good from one of the merchants around here. Yeah. I was out of breath. You didn't realise he was holding. Right, he says. Right, I can do that. I'll meet you here tomorrow with whatever I can get. If they don't catch me, of course. They don't get caught, otherwise I just waste my 400. I just want my money back. Good, I have some other questions before I go. Good, I'll meet you here tomorrow. See you tomorrow, I hope. Me too. Don't get yourself caught. Okay, now, how do we... Can we sleep? I know it cost me 260, but can I... Obviously, it won't be lying this time. I like to sleep here. I don't have enough money. Can I sleep here for free? She looks at you sympathetically. We are both refugees, are we not? Trapped inside the God's forsaken thing. I can let you stay for free once, but no more. Towards the empty tent. I'll bring you a meal shortly. Thank you. I'll just hopefully have some money so I can pay for next time.
Now that's the stuff.
Okay, he's back. Good. See how you made me some stuff. Probably I just wasted a free one as well. Okay, 266. Hey. Here you go. Connie looks around warily and drops some shins into your hand. Keep on that task. I'll meet you here again. No. I want you to do something else. I'm trembling. I want you to steal something good from what now? I want you to make me some... No. I'll talk about something else. Yeah, I want to free you now. Hopefully you made some enough money. You'll show me. What do you want to do? To set you free. Clutches your wrist. Smile bursts across her face. What? A mixed emotion. You can't read washes over his face. You can't read? Why? I'm a criminal. A killer. You can't set me free. Slavery is wrong and no one should be bound by it. Go, you're free. As your master, I set you free. Get out of here. Killer, I thought you were only a thief. He looks away, but not before you catch a wet shine on his eye. I killed my sister. What? We were kids. I used to play pranks on her all the time. Stupid pranks, but I never meant any harm. But one time, he swallowed hard twice. Then his story burst out of him like water from a dam. Katrina, whatever, couldn't swim right, but she loved the water. She'd go out to the harbour every day in a little curl. Just to scare her, I dug a leak in the... Oh, she drowned. Then I hid behind a rock and waited for her to come, but He looked down his feet, his face completely shadowed. I fell asleep. I woke up to her screaming, but she was too far out. I was too late to save her. Okay, so... I guess that's manslaughter. You didn't murder her. But still... You've been a slave and... Slavery seems a far worse punishment than the authorities might have given you. Sorry. Slave will pay for what you did. Sounds like it was accident. Surely you've punished yourself enough. I don't know. I didn't turn myself in for a long time. I spent 10 years running, wishing I could just cut out my heart so I wouldn't have to feel the guilt and pain anymore. He clutches his chest for emphasis. The third time they caught me for stealing, they told me I was a man now, responsible for my actions, and old enough for a man's prison. I thought about what that meant to me, a man, to own what I did, and decided I had to start over, but not before I paid for what I've done. So he wants to start over. I heard others volunteer for slavery, like letting the balloon decide whether you were worthy of freedom or not. Decided, one way or another, that's how I would be free too. By dying or... Okay. I'll keep you a slave until the balloons or fate decides. You have suffered more than enough for your crime. I say you are free. Your sister's death is past. She lived her life. I free you to live yours. Loom is not a god. I brought you here and I decide that you are free. Okay, one of these. Your sister is your past. She lived her life. I free you to live yours. More than enough for your crime. I say you are free. Oh, I don't know. Alright, I guess. Make sure that it goes up a lot. I'll pay 400 for you. Well, what will I do? I only know how to steal. Probably I'll just end up in prison again. So find you a job. Yeah, alright. You're the boss, I guess.
Making a note.
How much did you give me? Did it even go up? Did he bring me shins or not? Because I don't think I went up. No, it did go up. It did go up. Because remember, it cost me 260 or 263, and I didn't have enough. Like now, I probably have enough to sleep one more time. You without a word, his eyes are dead as before. Can you fight? Have you ever killed anyone? We kind of been through that. He shakes his head. Never been much of a fighter, never killed anyone either. Perception. Under his breath, you hear him add, not on purpose. I'll return when I find one. Okay.
You got it.
How do we get these ones out? Indeed not, sir. I'm a public servant. My work is indispensable to the fair sake of Silent Cliffs. I help these unfortunate wretches. He gestures at the slaves in the pit, pay their debts. I say as we will. So basically, you're also just Flame bristles, but keeps smiling. As I said, I'm a public servant, sir. If not for my work, the criminal elements of Silent Cliffs would have no choice but to rot in prison or die by the axe, as in the days of uncivilized ancestors. Okay.
Yeah, that's something I could do.
If I could sleep down there for free, I could just keep sending him off. Kept him as a slave, basically.
To action!
So tasty, serve you, master, mistress, lord, your dark wine nourishes me. Ah, don't boast so loudly. Metal gate are firmly shut. They are blemishes with age, but still strong. I wonder if I can get a job from what's his name for him. Flat eyes roll quickly across you, measuring studying in the glance. He smiles warmly, but his eyes remain hard. You turn, and more quickly than I had anticipated. Do you have something for me, perhaps? Not right now. Perhaps I can do something for you. Do some kind. Can anyone in this place... Oh! I didn't really help that one.
Making a note.
Demons? It is not a question. He stares at you for a moment. No, I know nothing about demons. Perhaps one of the doctors in Shadow Slump will be able to assist you. Questions for you. If they are within my power to answer, and if they do not come with a price. Ask my way, my friend. Showing about Mallet asked before. Who else do you know about and cast off of the Enchanted Guard? You were asked to plunder a great deal of knowledge, but I suppose you discover these things sooner rather than later, and it would behoove me to have you think well of me again. Thing smiles. But we should make your questions come one at a time. You tell me about the cast off, Champion Gone. Yeah, that's something else. I want to see if he's got the job thing. For people of the bloom. Some of the people of the bloom, maybe that would work. The nation you were speaking to. I do not frequently indulge in gossip, but I see no harm in answering your questions. Got Maven Valorant. What about this area? What do remain here in particular? What can you tell me about the other people in chamber? Ah, it's nothing about him, is it? Okay. Look up here.
You're sure it's safe?
We'll chat with you later. Waits for prey. Waits for prey. A metal construct stands before you, silent and still. His armour is pitted in ancient spikes with metal thorns. Instead of arms, the construction has long, killing blades, sharpened to a gleaming edge. Waits for prey. At first you aren't sure if the thing is still alive, but as you step closer you can hear faint hisses and whirls from inside its armour. Doing here? All these bones and armour on the ground. He's killing these, I guess, when they send them to her. The construction stirs and a voice emits from somewhere in its depth. It has a hollow, empty sound as it speaks from a vast cavern underground. Davern of beasts and men, it is all that remains of those who sought to best me. Oh, you'll fight you. Do you know about Dragoon? He is a predator of sorts, but subtler than most. I have observed him as one hunter watches another from afar, but I cannot fathom what he truly wants. What he seems is all that he is. Why do you challenge Dragon to combat? The construction head turns in Dragon's direction. Even through the grey-skinned man is not actually visible from here, obscured as in by a crashed cantina. You sense that the construction eyes can see him plainly. For a long moment you hear a series of whirring and humming sounds from inside the construction's head, as if the creature is considering your words. Then at long last it turns its head back to you. No, even I would not dare. The words are firm with a note of... Finally. Did you say the dragon isn't all that he seems? No, I said that's what he seems is not all that he is. Okay, that's all the questions. Mommy, what you know? What are you doing here? Who are you? I'm a soldier, a predator. My names are as numerous as the wars in which I have fought. But those wars are finished now, and I have left my names behind. Sure you remember some of your names? Some of them I remember all my names. Azrin Cirrus 14, Castor Mart 10. When I was bodyguard to the Vazon Lu, he called me his barber of flesh and made me a boogeyman, or bogeyman, feared and hated in every nation he conquered. The construct says nothing after that, but he hisses and whirls inside his armor, make a great deal of noise for what seems a long time. Who created you? I do not know, nor have I ever known. The code or records of themselves from my mind. I only remember those for whom I fought, and there have been many such masters over my long millennial services. For a time I believe my siblings and I slept. I do not know for how long. Then we were awakened by new masters, the Tava. We fought for them until they were no more. Fought for the Tava? What do you remember about them? Much. They ruled this land as warlords before the buildings of Sagon's Cliffs. They were slaves to an Ephish known as the Underspine. Yet they were its masters as well. I do not know where they came from, or who they were before they rose to power, for those things happened before they awakened me. I remember this too. They held single combat as the highest virtue, revealing the quality of one's soul. They believed that we had powerful souls. My siblings and I fought, for none of them could defeat us alone. They fought on two-legged beasts, brandishing weapons of another age, unearthed from great hole beneath the ground. That is also where they found me and my siblings. They awakened us, spoke the proper words, so we killed them. Oh, it's proper words. Hand to the tower, bro. The construction's blade arms twitched constantly. A vast explosion buried the Underspine and their city, and most of the siblings as well. The remaining Tabar were hunted and slain by those they had ruled and enslaved, and I was left alone, save for a few of my kind. Who are you again? What are you doing here? Series of lights flash beneath the constructor's face plate, but it makes no other reply. Wow. That's cool. And with that, I'm going to save, and we're going to end this episode. So I hope you enjoyed. Tune in next time, and we'll continue. This is IVATOPIA saying, bye, everyone. Have a great, wonderful day, and see you next week. Bye, everybody. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, and of course, share the video. Bye.